Welcome to my channel. Let me ask you something. Can you read English, write English, maybe even understand it when others speak, but still feel nervous when it's your turn to talk? Do you sometimes know the right words in your head, but they don't come out of your mouth? Or maybe you start to speak, but then stop because you're scared of making a mistake? If yes, then you're not alone. Many people feel the same way. You see, learning to communicate in English is not the same as learning grammar rules. You can study for years, know hundreds of words, even pass English exams and still feel stuck when someone says, "Tell me about yourself." Why does this happen? It's because real communication is more than just words. It's about using the words with the right tone, the right rhythm, and most importantly, with confidence. And the good news is you can learn how to do it. Today, I'm going to show you how to improve your English communication step by step. Even if you're a beginner, even if you feel shy, even if you failed before. We'll talk about simple things you can do every day to start speaking English more clearly, more naturally, and with more confidence. I will explain everything in easy words with real examples. So don't worry, just stay with me till the end. Because I'm not only going to tell you what to do, I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's begin this journey together. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to start communicating better in English. Let's go. Chapter 1. Why communication in English feels difficult, even if you know the words. Let's start with a simple truth. Most people learning English are not bad at English. They're just scared to use it. Maybe you are one of them. You studied hard in school. You memorized grammar rules. You passed your exams. You even understand English when you read it or hear it slowly. But still, when someone talks to you, or when you need to speak in English, something happens. Your mouth doesn't move. Your mind goes blank. Or you speak, but you feel unsure. You're afraid of making a mistake. You're afraid people will laugh. You're afraid you'll look stupid. But let me tell you something important. You're not stupid, and your English is not the problem. The real problem is that nobody taught you how to communicate in English. You were only taught how to study English. You see, there's a big difference between studying a language and using it in real life. In school, you probably learned English like a subject. You learned grammar, vocabulary, spelling, reading comprehension. Maybe you wrote essays or filled in blanks. But nobody taught you how to express yourself. Nobody taught you how to say your opinion, how to ask for help, how to explain something in a simple way. Nobody taught you how to speak when you're nervous, or when someone speaks too fast, or when you don't understand every word. This is why so many learners can write emails in English but stay silent in meetings. They can read English news but freeze when a foreigner asks, "Where's the train station?" It's not that they don't know the answer. It's that they don't know how to say it, or they are scared to say it wrong. Here's another thing many learners feel. I know the words, but I can't put them together. Maybe you know 500 or even 1,000 English words. But when it's time to speak, you search for the right one, and it doesn't come. That's because speaking is not just vocabulary. Speaking is a skill. It needs practice, not just memory. It needs confidence, not just correctness. And communication? Communication is even bigger than speaking. Communication is how you use your voice, your face, your hands, your energy. Communication is about connecting with someone. You don't need big words to connect. You need clarity, tone, and the courage to speak, even with mistakes. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're in a meeting at work. You have a good idea, but you don't speak. Why? Because you think, what if I make a grammar mistake? Or what if they don't understand me? Now, think about your colleague. Maybe his grammar isn't perfect. Maybe his accent is strong. But he speaks anyway, and people listen. Why? Because he communicates. He speaks with confidence. He uses his hands. He makes eye contact. He shares his idea not perfectly, but clearly enough. This is what real communication looks like. Let's look at another example. You're at a restaurant. You want to order food, but the menu is in English. You understand most of it, but when the waiter asks, "What would you like?" you panic. You say nothing, or you point. Later, you feel bad. You think, why couldn't I just say the words? But it's not about words. It's about practice and confidence. That one sentence, "I'll have the chicken sandwich, please," is simple. But if you've never said it before, it feels hard. And that's the key. If you don't practice speaking out loud, if you don't use your words in real life, they will stay locked inside your brain. You need to unlock them. And the way to do that is not by learning more words. It's by learning how to use simple words well. Let me give you one more truth. You don't need perfect English to be a great communicator. You don't even need to speak fast or use difficult grammar. Many successful people speak simple English. They pause. They smile. They repeat if needed. And people love talking to them. Why? Because they make others feel comfortable. So don't think you need to know everything before you start speaking. Don't wait for the perfect sentence to come. Use the words you know. Speak slowly. Look at the person. Smile. And most importantly, don't stop yourself. Because every time you speak, you grow. Let me leave you with this thought. You can become a confident communicator in English. You can express yourself clearly, even with basic words. You just need to learn how to use what you already know with more courage and less fear. That's what we'll do in the next chapters. In the next part, I'll show you how listening and speaking go together and why they are the secret to building real communication skills. Stay with me. Chapter 2: The Power of Listening and Speaking Together. In the last chapter, we talked about why communication in English feels difficult even when you know many words. It's not just about vocabulary or grammar. It's about confidence, connection, and how you use the language in real life. Now, let's talk about how to build that confidence and how to train your brain and your mouth to work together. And the answer is simple: listen and speak together. Think about how babies learn to speak. They don't open a grammar book. They don't sit down and study rules. What do? First, they listen. A lot. Every day, they hear their parents, family, and other people talking. Slowly, they begin to understand. Then, they try to copy. At first, it's just sounds, then words, then small sentences. And they repeat these words many times. They make mistakes, but nobody laughs at them. People smile, they help. And slowly, the baby learns to speak. Now, here's the interesting part. Even though a baby speaks slowly, makes many mistakes, and doesn't know grammar, we still understand them. Why? Because they are using real communication. They are listening and speaking in the same environment, and that helps their brain connect the two skills. You can do the same. You are not a baby, of course, but your brain still learns best when you hear and speak at the same time. Most learners spend too much time only listening or only reading. That's good, but it's not enough. To become a confident speaker, you must speak out loud, even if nobody is with you. You must listen to natural English and then try to say what you hear. This is how you build muscle memory in your mouth. Your tongue, your lips, your jaw, they all need to practice English sounds. And this only happens when you speak. One powerful technique is called shadowing. It means listening to someone speaking in English and repeating exactly what they say, almost like you're their shadow. For example, you play a video or audio clip of a native speaker and you repeat the words with the same speed, rhythm, and tone. You don't wait. You don't pause. You speak as they speak. At first, it's difficult. You may miss words. That's okay. After a few tries, you'll get better. And soon, you'll notice something amazing. Your pronunciation improves, your fluency improves, and you start to feel like you're really speaking English, not just thinking about it. You don't need a big plan to do this. You just need 10-15 minutes every day. Let me give you a simple daily routine that works, even if you're very busy. Listen to English for 5 minutes. Choose a short video, podcast, or conversation. Use something with subtitles or transcripts if possible. It should be natural English, not too fast, but not too slow either. Repeat what you hear. Listen again and try to shadow the speaker. Don't worry if you miss some words. Focus on rhythm and tone. Record yourself speaking. You can read the transcript out loud or repeat the sentences you heard. Use your phone to record. Listen to your recording. This step is very important. When you hear yourself, you notice your mistakes. You also start to feel more confident because you hear your own progress. You can do this with a short conversation clip, an English lesson, or even a sentence from a movie. If you do this every day, even for just 10 minutes, your speaking skills will grow fast. Let me give you an example. One of my students, Ahmed, always told me, I can understand English, but I can't speak it. I asked him, do you speak every day? He said, no, I wait for someone to practice with. That was his mistake. I told him, you don't need a partner. You can practice by listening and speaking at home. He started doing shadowing with short YouTube videos. Every day, 10 minutes. After 2 weeks, he said, I feel more confident now. I even spoke to a tourist at the train station. That's the power of using your voice. Here's another tip. Speak slowly. Many learners try to speak fast because they think fluent means fast. That's not true. Fluent means smooth, clear, and natural, not fast. Even native speakers pause, repeat, and think while talking. So, speak at your speed. It's better to say a short sentence clearly than a long one full of mistakes. Also, don't worry about grammar too much when you're speaking. Yes, grammar is important, but when you're building your speaking confidence, it's okay to make mistakes. Focus on using the language, not just learning about it. Speak first, fix later. Now, let's go back to our main idea. Listening and speaking together is the fastest, easiest, and most natural way to improve your English communication. When you do both together, you don't just know English, you start to use it. Your voice becomes stronger, your ears become sharper, and your mind starts to think in English, not just translate from your language. And this is the moment many learners feel something powerful. I don't need perfect grammar to speak clearly. I just need to use my voice every day. Yes, your voice is your best tool. Use it. In the next chapter, we'll talk about what to say and how to say it. How to learn natural phrases, not just individual words. You'll see that real communication comes from using simple, useful language that fits daily life. Let's continue. Chapter 3. What to say and how to say it. Learn real phrases, not just words. Now that you understand how listening and speaking together helps you grow, let's talk about what you should actually say when you speak English. Many learners make this mistake. They try to learn as many words as possible. They think, if I learn more vocabulary, I will become fluent. So they write long lists of words and memorize them. They learn apple, library, quickly, decision, discussion, and many more. But later, when they want to speak, they forget the words or they don't know how to use them in a sentence. That's frustrating, right? Let me tell you the truth. Fluency is not about knowing many words. It's about knowing how to use a few important phrases in real life. That's how native speakers talk. They don't build sentences word by word using grammar rules. They use ready made expressions. We call them chunks or phrases. Let me give you some examples. Instead of thinking about grammar and trying to build a sentence like, I do not know the answer, most people just say, I'm not sure. Instead of, I need to find that information before I can tell you, we say, let me check. Instead of, can you repeat what you said? We say, could you say that again? These are simple, useful, and polite. And the best part, you don't need to understand the full grammar to use them. You can just copy them and use them just like native speakers do. Here's a quick story. One of my students, Maria, used to study 5 new words every day. She had a notebook full of vocabulary, but when she had to speak, she still got stuck. I told her, stop learning only words. Start learning phrases. Was confused at first. But then she started practicing phrases like, I'm just looking. That sounds great. And I'll get back to you. After 2 weeks, she told me, now I can speak faster. I don't stop to think about grammar. That's because she wasn't building sentences word by word, she was using full blocks of natural English. You can do the same. Start small. Learn 3-5 useful phrases each week. Practice them out loud. Use them in different situations. Don't worry about changing the words. Just get used to saying them clearly and naturally. Let's look at a few more very useful phrases you can start using today. I'd like to. This is great for ordering or asking. I'd like to order a coffee. I'd like to ask something. I'm looking for. Very useful when you need help. I'm looking for the restroom. I'm looking for this address. That's a good question. Use it to give yourself time to think. That's a good question. Let me think. Let me see. Also great when you need a second to answer. Let me see. Maybe we can try tomorrow. These phrases are short, clear, and powerful. They help you speak without thinking too much. And the more you say them, the more confident you become. Now, let's talk about something else that's just as important, how you say the words. Communication is not just the words, it's also your tone, rhythm, and stress. Let's take the phrase, let me check. If you say it fast and flat, let me check, it sounds rushed or even rude. But if you slow down and say it naturally, let me check. With a small pause and a rising tone, it sounds calm, helpful, and polite. Tone is the feeling in your voice. Are you excited? Polite? Serious? Stress is which word you make stronger. For example, I didn't say he stole the money. If you stress different words in that sentence, the meaning changes. Rhythm is the music of English. Some words are fast, some are slow. English has a natural beat. You can hear this by listening to native speakers, watching short clips, or even songs. So when you learn a phrase, don't just read it. Listen to it. Feel the sound. Say it like a real speaker. Try to copy the same rhythm and energy. Don't be shy. Speaking is not just grammar, it's a performance. Use your voice. Now, here's the most powerful idea of this chapter 1 that changes everything for many learners. You don't need to know everything to speak English well. You just need to know a few useful phrases and use them again and again with confidence. That's it. You don't have to memorize the whole dictionary. You don't have to speak like a native. You don't even need perfect grammar. What you need is a small set of phrases that you feel comfortable using. With those phrases, you can start real conversations, answer questions, ask for help, and express yourself. And the more you use them, the more your brain gets comfortable. You'll stop translating in your head. You'll speak faster, smoother, and more confidently. In the next chapter, I'll show you how to practice communication in your real daily life, even if you don't have anyone to speak with. We'll use simple tricks and smart habits to help you grow every single day. Let's keep going. You're doing great. Chapter 4: Practice That Works. Simple, real. Life ways to train your communication. Now that you've learned what real communication means, how to speak naturally using phrases, and how to build fluency through listening and speaking together, let's talk about one final and very important step: practice. But not just any practice. You need practice that actually works. Practice that helps you speak in real life, not just in your head. Practice that is simple, possible, and even fun. Let me start with something that surprises many learners. You don't need a teacher to practice speaking. You don't even need a speaking partner. You just need yourself and your voice. Most learners think, I can't practice speaking because I have no one to talk to. But that's not true. In fact, many fluent speakers became fluent by practicing alone first. They built their confidence in small ways, and step by step, they improved. Here's how you can do it too. First, talk to yourself. Yes, talk to yourself every day. This is one of the best and easiest ways to practice communication. When you wake up, describe what you're doing in English. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm getting ready for work. I'm making breakfast. When you're walking somewhere, look around and say what you see. There's a man crossing the street. That shop is closed. The sky is cloudy today. These simple sentences are real communication. And because you're alone, there's no pressure. You can speak slowly, you can repeat, you can smile, and enjoy it. Second, record your voice. Use your phone. Say anything how your day was, what you plan to do, or repeat useful phrases you learned. Then, listen. Yes, it feels strange at first. You may think, do I really sound like that? But that's okay. This is how you grow. When you listen to your own voice, you notice your mistakes. You also notice your strengths. Maybe your pronunciation is better than you thought. Maybe your tone is polite and clear. Every time you do this, you get more comfortable with speaking. Third, use English in real life, even if it's just for small things. For example, ordering food in English, even if you're at a local place. Try saying, "Can I have a coffee, please?" Writing messages or emails in English, even if just for practice. Using English when searching on Google or YouTube. This trains your thinking in English. Talking to AI or chatbots like me in English. Practice conversations, ask questions, try role plays. Sending voice messages to a friend in English. Even if they don't speak English, just tell them it's your practice. You don't have to do big things. Small daily actions make a big difference over time. Remember, fluent speakers are not smarter. They just use English more often, even when they make mistakes. Now, maybe you want to speak with others, but don't have native speakers near you. That's okay too. There are many free speaking groups online on apps like HelloTalk, Tandem, or even Facebook groups. You can join WhatsApp or Telegram groups for English learners. Many learners around the world want the same thing to speak better English. You can help each other. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. The key is to stop thinking of English as a study subject. Start thinking of it as a skill you use like cooking or driving. When you cook every day, you get better. When you speak every day, you get better. So build a communication habit, not a study habit. You don't need to sit at a desk for 1 hour and study grammar. Instead, speak for 5 minutes while cooking. Repeat English phrases in the mirror before bed. Listen to English podcasts while walking. Write 3 sentences about your day in English. These small habits are more powerful than one big study session. They create real confidence. Here's another thing I want to say. Don't wait until your English is perfect to start speaking. That day will never come. Perfection is not the goal. The goal is connection, communication, expression. Every time you speak, even with a mistake, you're learning. Every time you try, you get stronger. Every small try becomes a big step. Let me give you a personal example. One of my students, Raj, was very shy. He always said, "My English is not ready." I told him, "It doesn't need to be ready. You just need to use it." So he started small. He sent one English message to a friend every day. He talked to himself while walking to work. He recorded short voice notes. After 3 months, he gave a short presentation at work in English. It wasn't perfect, but it was powerful. His message was clear, and that's what matters. So, let me tell you something important. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be brave. Brave enough to open your mouth, brave enough to try, brave enough to make a few mistakes and smile anyway. Communication is not a grammar test. It's a connection. It's a skill. And like all skills, it grows when you use it. So speak, listen, repeat, laugh at your mistakes, keep going. And one day, not too far from today, someone will ask, "How did you learn to speak English so well?" And you'll smile and say, "I didn't study more. I just started speaking more." If this video helped you understand how to improve your English communication skills, then please don't forget to like this video. It really supports the channel and helps others find this lesson too. If you know someone who is also learning English, share this video with them. Learning together makes it easier and more fun. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you want more clear, simple, and practical English lessons that actually help you speak with confidence. Now, I want to hear from you what part of communication is most difficult for you. Is it speaking without fear? Is it listening and understanding fast English? Or is it finding the right words in real situations? Tell me in the comments below. I read every single comment, and I try my best to reply to as many as I can because your questions help me create better lessons for you. And remember, your English doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be real. It needs to be used. And most of all, it needs to be heard. So keep going, keep speaking, and I'll see you in the next video.